Good boss of YouTube, 6Fthax here. Have for you guys today a pretty fun RU battle I had against Ozelot. I really hope I didn't butcher your name, my mans. But of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure to hammer arm that like button down below. And I promise, guys, I 110% promise I will get new RU teams when I come back. And I will no longer be using Salasso, Shaman, and Gligar all the fucking time. So don't worry, gonna have some new RU mons when I come back. So going into the matchup, the biggest threats I saw on my opponent's team were going to be his own Salazzle and maybe the Tyrantrum. Like, Tyrantrum can literally sweep me after a Dragon Dance if I'm not able to chip it down and get my sand up for my Stoutland. So I really have to watch out for that. Oddly enough, though, he had a Torterra, which I don't really know what Torterra does. So I was kind of worried about that. But he makes a really good choice in leading off with his Clawitzer, as of course I lead off with my sand using Gigalith. I'm going to switch directly into my Shaman, and I thought that the switch into Jellicent was a little bit too obvious, so I was a little worried that maybe he would go straight for a Dark Pulse, as luckily he does go straight for the Water Pulse. And here I almost clicked Psychic, thinking that he would switch into his Salazzle. Thankfully I didn't, and I'm able to get off a huge hit on the Clawitzer. Unfortunately though, he's able to do a whole lot back to me with the Ice Beam, and he's definitely got to be Assault Vest, judging for how much damage he took from the Seed Flare, as I really have no reason to not just Seed Flare again, honestly. Like, I'm gonna knock something out, or I'm gonna get off chip damage on whatever comes in, as I do get off a solid like 20-ish% on the Torterra. I will be able to go for another Seed Flare the following turn, because if he gets up his Stealth Rocks and I'm not able to get rid of them, then my Shaman just dies off to the entry hazard. So I thought by staying in and going for the Seed Flare, it was by far my better play, because I was hoping that he would just go for Stealth Rocks. Unfortunately though, he did end up going for the aggressive play in Stone Edge, which is actually really good, because now I may not have to worry about Stealth Rocks as I bring in my Gligar. I honestly did not know if a U-turn was gonna knock out Torterra, and I guess in hindsight I probably should have ran damage calc, because now by leaving in my Gligar, he gets a free switch into Tyrantrum. And of course, this is the one Gligar that doesn't have Earthquake. So he literally just gets a free Dragon Dance here. My sand is gone. I don't have chip damage on this Tyrantrum. So things are looking a little bit bad. Like, I can definitely get on my sand here and let him knock me out, but unless I'm able to put him in range of where a Choice Banded Adamant Superpower can knock out this Tyrantrum, which he can easily play around, I might add. Like, he can switch out expecting me to Superpower. So that could also be really bad. Luckily though, Gigalith is an absolute dawn, and I'm able to chew a +1 Earthquake, and in return get off some really good damage on the Tyrantrum, except for the fact that I get a crit. Now if he had lived, I would have just been able to bring in my Stoutland and revenge killed him. I don't know if he would have been in range of where an Adamant Stab return would have knocked him out, but if he was, then I don't think that crit mattered. Either way, I might have had the Superpower, so I don't know if that was game changing in the long run, but it did save me from getting swept by that Tyrantrum, because even if he had switched out expecting me to Superpower, Tyrantrum would have been extremely low, so I probably would have been able to play around it a little bit easier. But because I do still have my sand up, I will be able to bring in my Stoutland here. His only normal resist is gone, and I'm Adamant Choice Banded. So down goes the Heliolisk, which is excellent. I do have one last turn of sand because I did get that crit on the Tyrantrum, so he's gonna sack off his Clawitzer here. If he had brought in Mr. Mime or the Salazzle, then I might have still been able to live one hit depending on how things go if my sand was gone, which the sand is gone now as he does end up bringing in Salazzle. But if he's Life Orb Fire Blast or like Specs Fire Blast, I die. He doesn't have Fire Blast though, so I will be able to live this Flamethrower depending on what set he is running, and I'm going to be able to just annihilate him with the return, except he has Focus Sash, which I was not expecting. I think I've only seen like maybe 2 Focus Sash Salazzles before in the past, so that kind of caught me off guard. But it shouldn't be entirely too problematic because I can just bring in my Jellicent here. I can live any hit that he's going to want to go for. Dragon Pulse is probably his best move to hit me with because I resist both of Salazzle's stab moves. So I will be able to knock him out here with the Hex. At this point, his last Pokemon is going to be the Mr. Mime, which, if he's Scarfed, could maybe win depending on the damage that he does to my Jellicent. So in comes the Mr. Mime. There's also the chance that he could be a Focus Sash set. But either way, if he's not able to 2-hit KO me, I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp here. That way, the damage from my Hex can be doubled next turn. Unfortunately though, I missed the Will-O-Wisp. And that can be very bad, because if this is Focus Sashed, I think it probably just wins at +2. So I was really hoping I could live this hit, which luckily I do tank 1 Life Orb +2 Psychic. And I'm going to be able to get off some nice damage on the Mr. Mime. If he wasn't Life Orb, obviously I would have lived it a whole lot better and broken a Sash, so that's really good. I guess in hindsight, I probably should have gone straight for the Hex instead of going for the Will-O-Wisp, so I wouldn't have had to potentially risk him being Focus Sash, but hey, I also could have just hit Will-O-Wisp, so you never know. But at this point, I can just bring in my Salazzle, and because I didn't really get the user in this match, I'm just going to go straight for the Z move, and this is probably 10 times overkill on Mr. Mime. Like, I really didn't have to do this. I think I could have just gone for like Hidden Power Ice at this point and knocked them out. Either way though, Salazzle is going to be able to pick up the final KO here, and that is going to be the victory in my favor. So good game to Ozelot. Again, really hope I didn't butcher your name there. But if you guys did enjoy the video, that crit is just salt in the wounds, honestly. That crit was not needed. But yeah, guys, if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to hammer on that like button down below. Like I said, hopefully by the time this battle goes up, I should be back from the little mini vacation thing I'm going on. So should be back to regular uploads by Thursday or Friday, so that's gonna be pretty awesome. So hey guys, without that being said, another quick battle that I hope you all did enjoy, and I will see you tomorrow. 2 videos on the end screen, check them out if you've not so already.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in a knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion, but when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears of hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.